I guess that's 13 straight to the Habs, eh?
Yeah, so stupid. Oh, I just got an email.
Oh, who's it from?
It's from the NHL. I got a goalie interference penalty.
Yeah, they're just kind of handing those out.
Hi, everyone.
Austin Matthews.
Well, time for a rebuild.
This team is ruining my life.
Leafs lose. They kind of needed that one. They lost 5-3 to the Montreal Canadiens. That's their 13th straight that they've lost to Montreal, which I didn't even really realize on account of the Leafs have been bad. Anytime they show the Leafs record against the team over the last 3 years or so, I'm like, yeah, of course it's bad. You know what would be noteworthy? If they were above 500 against someone. Because that would mean the Horacek / last place Leafs were above 500 against someone. Anyway, I think this game was a much needed party pooper. We're like, yeah, the Leafs are in a playoff spot! And then we would correct ourselves by going, it's early and there's still a lot of work to do. But while we were saying that, we know that deep down inside we were still like, who cares? Whee! 20 seconds in, Max Pacioretty scores. Okay, that's not a good start. All right, they'll get it back. Arturi Lehkonen scores less than 4 minutes in. When you allow 2 goals against Carey Price's team, you lose. That's kind of the rule. But then something amazing happened. Now, this is the part of the game where Mitch Marner gives us a lesson in assists. We're taught that there are 2 kinds of assists, secondary and primary, when in fact there are actually 3 different kinds. There is secondary, primary, and magical! Secondary, you gave the puck to the guy who gave the puck to the guy who scored the goal. Primary assist, you gave the puck to the guy who scored the goal. Magical, there's no way on earth that goal gets scored without you! Leafs power play, Mitch Marner, bump back pass to Tyler Bozak. That's a primary assist. 2-1. Power play again. Mitch Marner takes a shot. Stopped by Carey Price. Nazem Kadri bangs in the rebound. That is technically a primary assist. I mean, it's kind of ugly, but who cares? 2-2. Nice late period goal. You get a couple power plays. You take advantage of them. That is how you vanquish the Canadiens. You need to beat this team if you're going to be in the playoff picture at all. Great way to end the period. Way to... no! Nikita Sherbak in his first NHL game, of course, scores his first NHL goal. Of course, with less than 2 seconds left in the period. Do you realize that that goal is the second time in 7 days of 2017 that the Leafs have allowed a goal with less than 2 seconds left in a period? I said less than 2 seconds left. So instead of ending the period on a great note, hey, we came back, yeah, it's Carey Price, whatever, man. Instead of that, they go to the dressing room with their heads hung low, and the Habs get to tussle the hair of their young rookie who just got a great milestone, feeling all good about themselves. That was on the power play too, by the way. And also on the power play in the second period. Oh, there's a theme here. Alex Radulov puts it in again, proving people wrong again. It's 4-2 Canadiens. Oh, there's your 2-goal lead. You just have that right back. All right, Mitch, things are looking good. Bust out the magic. Mitch Marner, Harlem Globetrotters around the Montreal Canadiens zone, throws it to James Van Riemsdyk, who puts it in and kind of feels bad that he's the one who scored the goal. Look at the look on his face. He's like, I just kind of had my stick there. Mitch Marner gets assists that are so pretty, they should just count as a goal. JVR should get the assist for that. He assisted Marner in putting it in the net. I saw lots of people talking about, oh, that's a play of the year candidate. Man, you got to watch the Leafs more. That might crack the top 5 for top Mitch Marner assists. Leafs are within 1. That's wonderful. Third period, Michael McCarron puts it in the back of the net. 5-3, 2-goal deficit. The Leafs get their chances, but they can't come back and they lose. Now that we've got all that hockey out of the way, let's talk about some nonsense. You'll notice there were 4 power play goals scored in this one. That's not entirely unusual. The officiating. Again, man, I don't think I understand the rules. 13 minor penalties in this game, and what's amazing is they missed some. Matt Martin probably should have got one for hitting Petrie, let's be honest. There was a trip in this game. It might have been called a hook. I don't know. There were so many penalties. I don't even remember the player it was. 10 times out of 10, that's a dive on Kadri. 11 times out of 10. The Hyman goalie interference. Today, I learned Zach Hyman is an X-Man. Here I was thinking he played wing for the Toronto Maple Leafs, when in fact he's actually Nightcrawler of the Munich Circus. That was not a good accent. Emelin, because always Emelin, hits him into Carey Price while Hyman is in mid-freaking air, man. And then they pile on Zach, punch it up, and Hyman even jumped out of the way. So Montreal Canadiens fans should be super concerned because, one, you got a defender dumb enough like Alexei Emelin to hit players into his all-star, all-world goalie. And number two, the lesson I'm learning if I'm Zach Hyman, next time just go through him. You're getting the penalty and getting pounded on anyway, why not? The Kadri delay a game penalty I was kind of getting mad about, but you're not allowed to do that. You'll have to excuse me for being sensitive about Nazem Kadri's had a rough season in this department. And look, it's not because the Leafs lost the game, okay? Stop tweeting me that. It makes you look like a little bit of a silly goose. I've said it in games the Leafs won. I've said it in games the Leafs lost. I've said it for other teams. I've said it for other games where the Leafs weren't even involved. The officiating this season has been shocking, and this isn't even in the top 10 examples. Saw a few people tweet me, well then you do it, Steve! Officials have it so easy. You can't do that in any other field. Then you perform the heart surgery. Alright, you fly the plane. Alright, you run this country. Maybe it's just me, but I think if you have a job, you should be expected to do it well. These refs are not. Now, is that all on the refs? I don't know. There's been some really young ones in the league this year. They're gonna make mistakes. I don't know if the rules are clear. The other game we saw a ref cancel a penalty. I've never seen that. And goalie interference, I'm not even talking about the Zach Hyman goalie interference. Goalie interference, there's no consistency. I'm gonna post a link below from earlier this season. It's a game between the Red Wings and the Panthers. This goal got called back. Now, do I think there are refs out there who could do a better job than these ones? No. So I'll at least give them that credit, but I think we have a problem, guys. And then there were fights. Matt Martin fighting Michael McCarron. There's a lot of M's in there, and that's because McCarron was getting in Levo's face earlier in the game, and then Freddie Gauthier gets into a fight with Bobby Farnham, and Bobby Farnham's like, let's do this, and a few seconds later he's like, oh, I very much regret this. Freddie the Goat, I didn't even know he had that in him. Then at the end of the second, Shea Weber gets a cross-check on Zach Hyman, and Zach Hyman gets a penalty for getting cross-checked, I think. Officiating aside, because wow, there needed to be some nastiness in this rivalry again. You know what, to the Leafs and Habs credit, whether the Habs were terrible or the Leafs were terrible or both, the nastiness never really left. And I think this was a reminder of something important after celebrating a playoff spot for like a few hours. The Leafs have talked a lot about the Leafs returning to their rightful place in things. And they realized that they can't return there without a full rebuild. And they took those steps. They can't return to that rightful place until they become a playoff team. And they're looking pretty good so far. Call me crazy, but I don't think the Leafs can return to their rightful place in things, whatever that is, unless they beat the Montreal Canadiens on occasion. 13 straight! And again, that's not a shock. The Leafs have been very bad over the past few years, but that was their third or fourth game against them this season. Yes, there are excuses. The Leafs have played the Habs on the second half of a back-to-back a few times, but you know what? The Habs were missing 7 regulars in this one. If you're gonna beat them, God, that was a really good opportunity. When you can score 3 goals on Carey Price in a game, you don't want to blow that opportunity. I think for the Leafs to be truly respectable again, this rivalry needs to be truly respectable again. In recent weeks, we've gotten so happy about the Leafs leapfrogging the Florida Panthers and the Tampa Bay Lightning and then the Boston Bruins tying the Ottawa Senators, we forgot there's a team in the Atlantic Division ahead of the Leafs in the standings. It's Montreal. You don't play to make the playoffs, you play to win the popcorn maker! It does not make very good popcorn, by the way, but it looks cool. What do you think? So that is it for this one. Thank you very much for watching. Click like if you like this video. Click subscribe if you really liked it. Tell all your friends. Let me know what the Leafs need to do to make this rivalry with the Canadiens great again. Namely, what they need to do to beat them again. What do you think happens to solve the officiating problem? LOL, probably nothing. And I will see you in a week for some reason. And at the end of that, they play back-to-back again because Leafs.